Hello, my name's Paul Haig. I've been restoring this Lotusilan and I've been putting some videos online to show that process, but those videos never featured any fiberglass repairs because I did all those before I was taking videos. So I've got some still shots. I'm going to tie a few of those together to show that fiberglass repair process. I'll just show you the part that is being repaired in those images. So the part being repaired is the bonnet, edge of the bonnet. It's this area here, and there was quite a big crack in it. No idea why when it got that before I owned it, so don't know what the cause was, but it was quite a big crack. So that's the repair you'll see being made. I think there's also a bit of a repair being made further down near where the sort of slider arrangement is for the bonnet. I'll just show you some star cracks as well. This is a removable hardtop for the Elan, the top of it, and you can see here a nice example of a stress crack, a star crack, which has probably happened by it being hit from the underside and it pushing up and stressing the very brittle top layer of the fiberglass, the gel coat, and forming some cracks in it, which have come through the paint. There's another one over here, a smaller one, which you quite nicely see in the light. So the way I would go about repairing this is to grind that star crack away completely, but I would go quite a distance past the end of these cracks because they may be in a microscopic level longer than they look. So I would take it out, probably grind it out to this sort of diameter, and then taper away very gently these edges so that there's no sharp step. It's just a gradual change into the bottom of the area that's ground out. Then I'd cut mat and tissue and glass those in with new polyester resin. The depth, the amount of layers will depend really on this part. So when you grind it off, really you find that out as you go along. And you will build the layers back up to get the shape pretty good, as long as you're sensible with the grinding. And then finish with a very fine layer of polyester filler on top to get the final shape back. Okay, so let's have a look at those still images. This is the edge of the bonnet. You can maybe make out the two cracks there. So this one near where the bonnet opens, and this one on the edge of the bonnet. You can see there's a bit of distortion there. So it's been bodge repaired already. So first process was to get the grinder out and grind away the surface. In this case, they're both cracks that go through the whole piece. So it's more than just a stress crack or a star crack. You need to grind a bit further into the material. So eventually they'll also get repaired on the other side. So you can see my attempt at grinding it neatly there. Just use like a mini grinder, an angle grinder with a pad and like a sandpaper disc on there. So you can see grinding away that one. I'm obviously exposing that crack that goes all the way through. So because the crack goes all the way through, you need to take that really quite deep into the fiberglass because we've got to repair that crack. Having ground it out, use pretty coarse 60 grit, something like that, sandpaper to get rid of the grinding marks so it's pretty smooth, and tapered away as well, and then vacuum cleaner just to get rid of as much dust as possible. Oh, I'm doing this outside and of course wearing safety mask and goggles. So you can see in the background there a bit of mat and tissue that were cut to go in place on this surface. So mix up the polyester resin and then wet the surface with the polyester resin, and then apply the mat. So there's the mat.
and then you thoroughly wet the mat with the brush. For such a small area, you don't need to use a roller or anything like that. It may be that, I can't remember if I used 2 layers of mat here, maybe just one, because it's a fairly thin section, but you can see it properly wet out there. You can tell if you've got air bubbles trapped inside it. And then on top of that, I put the tissue layer. So there's the tissue. And fully wet that out as well. Tissue layer was slightly bigger because it's got this tapered edge to the repair. And pretty much that's it. But I would definitely have repaired that on the other side as well, because it's a deep crack. And there you can see repairs to both those parts. Hope you found that useful. There's a book, How to Restore Fibreglass Bodywork by Miles Wilkins, which is pretty much the Bible on this topic. So yeah, if you want to get into it and learn more about it, then I could recommend that book. Okay.